On the count of podcast.
Podcast.
Welcome to Everyone's a Critic podcast, 1993. I am professional film critic Sean Patrick. With me is Amy Kay.
Hello.
And MJ.
Hi.
And we're talking about the movies of 1993 in their chronological release order. Last week we were going to talk about a movie, and we watched it and then didn't talk about it. So
Right.
we're going to talk about it now to get it
Out of the way.
Get it out of your brains.
Yeah,
To
it
put it
doesn't
away.
deserve to have space in my head.
To
No.
file this movie away permanently.
Keep it away.
Talking
Far
about actor Daniel Stern's directorial debut, somehow his only directorial effort, as I'm aware, unless he's done some TV.
See, I think he abused his power with this film because then he put himself in the movie, and he was the most horrid thing to witness in this film.
Rookie of the Year,
Ugh.
starring Thomas Ian Nicholas, is that it?
Let's say yes. He
Yeah.
was in American Pie.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Halloween.
Oh, was he in that
the
too?
Busta Rhymes Halloween movie. The one where they killed Jamie Lee Curtis and then she came back, so it's not canon anymore.
Oh. Well, fuck you for that. Gotta keep it canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie was so fucking annoying, and there's nothing that even Gary Busey could do to save it.
Well, and he's not even trying.
He's not even trying.
Yeah, there's this whole thing, Nicolas Cage, right? Nicolas Cage, like, when he's in a movie, you're looking for those Nicolas Cage moments.
Correct.
Busey was the first Nicolas Cage, because Busey had those moments before Cage did.
That's true.
Cage was always, like, kind of a respected actor who became Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
Gary Busey was always Gary Busey.
he's always Gary Busey.
This
And
is the least Busey we've ever seen Gary Busey.
see, that's the problem, because he gave us a product we trust, and then in this film does not deliver
Yeah.
whatsoever.
But especially, I mean, MJ, after seeing The Firm and getting kind of a really good glimpse of the Gary Busey.
Yeah, yeah. As short-lived as he was in that film, you have to admit he was the relief we needed in that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not The Firm Gary Busey. This is just Gary Busey, like, I'm just going to play a pitcher because I want to play a pitcher.
It's like Daniel Stern reached into his chest, into Gary Busey's chest, and pulled out his heart and said, "Now act."
Kalima!
You can't have Gary Busey in a movie if you're not going to let him Gary Busey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm wondering, though, if it was his choice to try and make, because he's trying to play maybe a straight arrow character, and maybe that was the problem.
That's not why his fans love him, though.
No.
So he should probably know that, although I don't know if he has all his faculties to realize this.
This was not the moment to try and turn on the acting.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
face
face
a movie
it.
that doesn't need. Now, granted, he's playing opposite Daniel Stern,
Yeah.
who is just going like full on earnest. Like,
Yeah.
this is the earnest movie that never got made.
Ugh.
He is playing a full on, just obnoxious Ernest T. Worrell.
Oh, God. And we hate Ernest. You know?
There's been a cultural reappraisal of Ernest.
Has there?
Have you not read Nathan Rabin?
Oh, I still don't care. Because we grew up with that shit, and it scarred us.
Oh, that's only because your brother would go around saying, "Hey, Vern."
Why is it my brother and not yours?
Because he belongs to you.
It's MJ's dad.
I don't know who that is.
It is my dad.
Yeah, you can claim him. He's yours.
Has he referred to you as Vern?
He did go around and say that a lot.
Not to me, but he might have done that to my mom.
Yep, that would make sense.
I feel like
Oh,
he would
yeah.
do that to my mom.
And your mom would get the reference as well. So,
And then she'd be like, why did I marry this dude?
well, I think she does that anyway.
Yeah, most days.
Yeah. So, ultimately, I mean, it is a fantasy film.
Right. A little boy breaks his shoulder, and when it's reset, he is able to throw a baseball super, super hard.
If you've ever seen a Lucky Cat, that's what his arm does. You know, he's waving at you, but he has a lot of force and no luck.
And the sound effect of this
Oh, God, that was the
was
worst part.
absolutely
Rubber bands,
horrible.
right? It's like just
Oh.
pulling rubber bands.
Yeah, it was
It
like,
was
And they did it every time we would throw.
every time, except for
And it
they
sounds like
missed one at the
his
end.
arm is going to snap off.
Yep, it does.
Which
It does.
brought back like this horrific memory. There was this guy named Dave Dravecki who was pitching for the San Diego Padres, and he pitched so hard that his arm fell off.
Fuck you. Is that serious?
Well, it came off like really, like almost. And then they had to actually remove his arm.
Because it went out of the socket, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Yeah.
My mom pulled my arm out of my
believe
socket
that
when I was a
happened
kid.
during a Cub game, I believe.
How'd that happen?
I was going to fall off the deck, and she
Oh.
grabbed my arm really fast, and it sucked it right out of the socket. Yeah. I call abuse, but she's dead now. There's nothing we can do about it. So
She saved your life, and she still felt guilty about it. Which
I
is
know.
kind of a weird dichotomy, isn't it?
that's anyone who loves me in any way. That's what they grapple with. So basically, he's got this amazing arm, which again he and his buddies are, they go to the Cubs games, which purely is the only reason Sean wanted to watch this movie, was just for the Cubs alone.
The Cubs going in, winning the World Series. We know they won
Yeah.
the World Series in this one because he had a World Series ring at the end.
Ah, right.
He did.
Yeah. Anyway,
Although, I really do. The best part about it was like a nerd was winning.
yeah,
Like
the underdog.
and like he got to show off the fact that he had a World Series ring.
Yeah.
Like when he got back to school.
Yeah.
That was the best part
He
of
had
it.
to stick it to his bullies.
Yeah.
Do we feel, how was he 12 in this movie? Like,
Something like that.
I think he was 12. I think he was 12.
seemed like he
he
was
had a
like
love
6th grade.
interest.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Which was weird.
Yeah, it was something.
Unlike his mom has two love interests in the movie: Gary Busey, and then Bruce
Other dude.
Altman,
Oh, Bruce Altman.
the
sure.
ultimate '90s villain.
Ugh. Or just the guy you don't want to marry in the film, but he loves you anyway. That's it. That's just him.
He's like going to be the stepdad at the
He's
start.
the Chad of the film.
And then he falls in love with like pimping out Henry's arm.
Yeah.
Henry's the kid, and he's like he gets him in with the Cubs, and then becomes his manager, quote unquote.
Yeah, self-appointed, by
Yeah.
the way, which was odd. Wouldn't you talk to his mom first? I mean, you're fucking her.
Yeah.
Just ask. Do you mind if I become? I'm the one who got the deal,
hmm
but no, he didn't just ask.
Well, since he didn't do that though, he didn't get anything from it. So
That's true. That's very true.
it's all his own fault.
Tried to trade Henry to the New York Yankees.
Yeah, which and not tell him.
And not tell him.
Yeah, and just all of a sudden it's like, oh, we packed up your shit. Don't
We're
you want to go to
moving
New
you.
York? Yeah. It's like, no.
It's all the privilege that a white man tends to carry.
Yeah.
It's just, I've made this decision for you.
Yeah, like he's the president of white people, white men in this movie for sure. Like that's that key role, that juicy role that everybody wanted back then. Yeah, so so we already know that's going to become like we don't like him from the outset because
Because he's
the
a shitty
kid,
dude.
yeah, and the kid doesn't like him, and usually that will tell you something at the beginning because if a kid has a bad feeling,
and of course, mom's oblivious.
yeah, absolutely. She just wants love.
She just
you know.
wants Gary Busey.
But she doesn't realize that right away
No, it takes her a while.
because she's been a solo mom for that kid's entire life,
Mhm.
and oh, by the way, doesn't tell her son, anything other than her, his dad played baseball. But here's the thing, it wasn't him, and he wasn't even in the picture. He didn't die.
Yeah, she doesn't know who he is.
Yeah,
No.
There's nothing about him.
I do like that. Yes. Honestly, honey, he could be anyone.
He's out there somewhere, maybe.
But that does lead up to that tearjerker moment where Henry's on the mound and he's lost his power in his shoulder. And then he takes off his glove and he pulls back the tape.
And it's her name.
It's her name.
It's his Mary.
It was her
Name.
glove.
Yep.
And she's in the crowd.
She was
Uh-huh.
she.
It was me.
The way you said "aha" took me back to when he's filming the Pepsi commercial in this movie, which, by the way, MJ wouldn't remember because in the early '90s we had Ray Charles singing
Yeah.
"You've Got the Right One, Baby,"
Mhm.
and they were actually featured on the can. Even
Sounds familiar, yeah.
I hated those fucking commercials. Hated them. And yeah, so we have a moment where the kid's actually filming a Pepsi commercial. It's like, God, could they do that? But again, this movie prime real estate for product placement everywhere.
I mean, it's Major League Baseball branded. It's
Jesus.
got all the teams,
I mean, we
the
saw
logos,
like in the minute
Wrigley Field.
from the outset, we saw brands in their house, all different kinds of cereal brands, which one actually was Quaker Oats. Was one, and they don't make it anymore. And I'm like, God, I love that cereal. It was nice to see that in this movie. Actually, I would only recommend this movie just to see that cereal box.
Yeah.
Like I really, really like cereal.
It was
my
like
favorite thing.
Quaker Oak clusters or something like
logo,
that.
logo to camera.
Oh,
Logo to
exactly.
camera.
Yeah, everything's the labels are turned out just right. We've got Dan Hedaya in this movie, who I fucking love. I love him so much because
Who's in every movie.
he's
at
in
this
every.
time.
Oh my God, he's like the Jurgen Prochnow of Jurgen Prochnows. I mean, he really is, and I like seeing him, but he plays a real creep, real asshole in this movie. Again, probably the only reason I might have liked this movie was because I love Dan Hedaya so much.
Oh.
But I was glad to see him.
Otherwise, Daniel Stern pretty much renders this whole thing unwatchable.
Every fucking second of him. You know what? It reminded me of Bob Odenkirk doing a bit.
Shaking the crab stick.
Shaking the crime stick. Like oh my God. Woody Cooks. I kept like everything, even every delivery. It was like in a Bob Odenkirk on Mr. Show delivery. And if it would have been Bob Odenkirk playing Daniel Stern, that would have been fucking hilarious. I would have loved that. But
it is so obnoxious.
he
is just
he
the
keeps
character
getting
is
locked
named
in.
Bregma.
Yeah.
He's the pitching coach for the Cubs, but he's only the pitching coach for the Cubs because the real manager, Albert Hall, feels bad for him because he got beamed in the head by a ball when they were in the minors together.
Right. So he has a brain injury.
Yeah.
He needs staff, is what I'm saying. He had no right to be on his own in this movie.
At one point, they're in a hotel, and he goes to wake up Henry, and he gets caught between the two doors.
The two doors, yeah.
They shut, and they just hold him there.
What about in the dress or the what is it? Not dressing room, but whatever
locker room.
and he gets locked in the baseball, like
the cage. Yeah.
in the cage.
Several times. Like,
Why don't we just leave him
he
there?
keeps getting locked in
Just
things.
leave him there. Oh
Also,
my God.
Daniel Stern could go direct the rest of the movie.
You know what? I think a piece of seaweed could have directed this film better than Daniel Stern.
I loved this movie when I was a kid because
How?
it's got the Cubs,
Right.
and that's like my thing. I love the Cubs.
That was the only reason we
and
had
the Cubs
to
won
watch
the World
this film.
Series, and usually that's a joke. Like in Taking Care of Business, it's a joke. The whole thing is kind of a joke that the Cubs never win, and this guy to the point where this guy breaks out of jail so he can be there to see the Cubs in the World Series.
Right.
And then it's like Back to the Future 2. The big joke is the Cubs versus the Florida in the World Series, and lots of different movies over time have made jokes about how the Cubs never win and all that stuff.
Wasn't it Dream Team?
recently.
I keep thinking maybe in Dream Team.
I thought
Yeah.
that was the Mets, but
that could be.
but yeah,
I'm sure there was a Cubs joke in there.
everybody
though.
everybody's making Cub jokes, and I like that this isn't a Cubs joke.
Right.
I mean, the Cubs are
It paints
bad
them in a
this
good
movie,
light.
and he turns them around because he's got his magic arm or whatever. But it's not a joke that they won. They were really competitive, so I
Right.
appreciated that. I hate this movie now.
I know.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. It sucks too because Janitor from Scrubs is in it,
Oh, Neil Flynn,
and I love him.
the hidden ball trick.
Oh, he didn't have enough. There were good people in this movie. That's like these were casualties that didn't have to
Yeah.
happen.
Why did they give Albert Hall is not a naturally funny man. He's a very stern man.
Yeah.
He's good at being stern.
Yeah.
But giving him a running gag about how he can't pronounce Henry's last name
Oh my God.
was tedious. It was tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got it right once.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to have that poignant moment where he's happy and he gets it right, and everybody's surprised. He said his name right.
And then the minute that he doesn't pitch correctly, then we're right back to him forgetting how to say his name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's a dumb joke in a dumb movie, and it's just like that's the anatomy of a bad movie is that joke.
Yeah. Yeah. There's plenty of them to be had in this movie.
Because they're all bad.
Oh.
All the jokes are bad. This movie isn't funny.
It's not funny.
There is not a single good joke in this entire movie.
No. Remember, like with him and his friends, like we have a lot of those scenes with him and his two best friends, and They all love the Cubs, all this kind of shit. But then we try to like manufacture some sort of problem that I don't understand why it existed. So were the two...
He was shooting a Pepsi commercial, and his friends, he was supposed to meet his friends, but he couldn't get there in time, and he got there late, and they felt like he'd blown them off to be a big star.
Right.
And so they went off without him.
But he showed up. He had jeans on and a t-shirt. He was ready to throw down, get in that boat, have some Cheetos or whatever was facing the camera.
Ritz crackers.
Ritz crackers, plenty of those. It was nice to see the old Cheetos bag, though. I thought I forgot what it looked like, but no, it was still the same in my noggin. But yeah, and then they just went off without him. He's like, dude, you didn't even leave. I'm on time, technically. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
these are little bitches.
Mm-hmm.
Little bitches who need to run home to their mommies. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, that felt so, contrived. Like, I just thought
Forced
that was
conflict,
stupid. Yeah, forced conflict. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
The best performance in this movie is by his mom.
Yeah.
She's really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
In real life, her name's Amy, so
Really?
of course she is.
I can recall genuinely being moved by that moment where that in 1993, having that be a reveal is
Right.
kind of cool, honestly.
Yeah, like that. I did like that part.
We
Like
put
it was
up-
like a
Yeah, we put up with a lot of misogyny from this time period.
Yeah.
yeah.
Holy shit, yeah. Hey, I'm gonna bring this up.
What do you think of baseball, MJ?
I'm not huge on sports.
What he's saying is, I couldn't give a fuck.
So it's something. I mean, like
Well, I mean, they
it's a game.
they let 12-year-olds play.
Yeah. Hence why I said this was a fantasy, and also because he was a lucky cat arm, which wouldn't happen in real life. It's like, I don't know why your tendons have fused to your bone. There's nothing we can do. And not only that, but this doctor was such an asshole. He was such an asshole. Like, he told them to get out of his office at one point.
Well,
like,
because he punched him in the face.
well, he had it coming. He was an asshole. I don't know. Yeah, so, I mean, fuck this movie. I mean, I don't care about it.
It's just, the problem is I didn't realize just how obnoxious it was.
Yeah.
Like, I just did not, I couldn't recall just how terrible Daniel Stern's Ernest impression was. Clearly that's a character that was written for Jim Varney. There's
Right.
no doubt.
Right.
I mean, he's doing a full-on Jim Varney performance.
So it's Bob Odenkirk doing Daniel Stern doing Ernest. Yeah, yeah.
Doing Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel. I might watch that movie. If they redo My Left Foot that way.
With Daniel Stern's Bregma.
That would be fucking brilliant, actually.
God.
I like that idea. I like it.
Awful. Pauly Shore and Schindler's
It
List.
should
level
make
terrible.
that's a, Daniel Stern and My Left Foot.
Daniel Stern's Bregma.
We have the best ideas on here, but nobody will take us up on them. Nobody. I do
That's
have
the
to
t-shirt
say,
this week.
yeah. Well, I do have to say, in this movie, no one made my cunt list.
That's good.
I just didn't care about
Not
any
even
of them.
Daniel Stern
No.
for directing this crap?
No, because, I mean, honestly, you don't read bad shit about Daniel Stern in the news.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a fine guy. I hated him in this movie. I hated him for this movie.
And to his credit, he's decided to never direct again, so that's good.
I think he made the right choice. Yeah. So,
It's just, it's so bad.
did you enjoy seeing the likes of Barry Bonds?
Barry
And,
Bonds is
Bobby
in this movie.
Bonilla.
Tiny Barry Bonds, pre-steroid
Oh.
Barry Bonds.
Remember? Remember the time? Oh, biggest misuse of an amazing, hilarious human being, John fucking Candy in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it! He didn't have one moment where he was John Candy in this movie.
Yeah, I think part of that was he didn't want to do Bob Uecker in Major League, because Bob Uecker had already played this character.
It's true. And Major League is an infinitely better film.
And, I think that's reflected by the fact that Candy didn't want anybody to know he was in the movie.
Yeah, because he's uncredited.
He's uncredited even today on
Yep.
IMDb.
Yeah. I'm seeing it on here on Wiki. It's as Cliff Murdoch, uncredited.
Yeah,
So,
he does. He just didn't want to tell anybody he was in the movie.
So,
He's like posthumously a genius.
Aww. R.I.P. John Candy. We miss you.
He was in worse movies.
He was. He was. Was it that one with Matthew Perry? Was that the Lewis and Clark one?
Yeah. No, was that far.
I
that was
always do
Farley.
that. Yeah.
Wagons East is the one you're
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, that was a bummer. Too many good people in this movie. Not enough good movie to go around. Like an inch of good movie.
Who was the old guy who owned the Cubs?
That
was a really thin... Eddie Brackett.
Was that Eddie Brackett?
I think so. Yeah, that was a terrible joke as well. Him just being like a doddering old man.
Yeah.
Who then comes around eventually to fire Dan Hedaya.
Bob.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. and then, but the very fact that Dan Hedaya's character, Larry the Fisher, he gets demoted to being a hot dog vendor.
That was funny.
Why wouldn't you just fucking quit? Like, I know I have to be a hot dog vendor now. I have no autonomy.
No choice, you know.
Well, I mean, if he probably could he get another job? Is he really talented?
That's true.
For anything else?
Because he was appointed because he was family. So
and he can't even do that right. So
That's true.
Where else could he go? Really?
Yeah.
Clearly.
So, we got to talk about Gary Busey's mustache.
It had its own trailer. It definitely did. It was not his, is what we're saying.
Needless. It was so needless. Why did he have a mustache?
Because it feels like in the 80s and 90s, it was a prereq for every baseball player to have a mustache. Maybe, possibly. It looked. I mean, it was like a caterpillar, but it was like a flat caterpillar. You could see the glue.
Too many close-ups on it.
Don't
get too close to that.
You were very close to the mustache.
You could see the glue that was holding it to his face.
The close-ups really prove that it was indeed synthetic hair. Like if you put a lighter up to his face, it would have immediately. He didn't need it. No.
It was not required.
I didn't even know it was Gary Busey, to be honest. Until I didn't realize.
I think that mustache is the one Busey thing. He's like, all right, I'll do your movie. I just want a mustache.
And
I'm not gonna grow it.
No, because I have sporadic hair growth.
I just want a mustache.
Yeah. But here's the thing about that. And actually, you know what? I want to Google this. I need to see if Gary Busey ever had a real mustache of his own.
I can recall Busey having some facial hair.
Well, I can't.
I don't think I've ever seen full beard Busey, but same energy. Same energies. Look at all these pictures. Good Christ!
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot of Busey.
But there's
Chet Stedman.
Oh my God! The first picture is Chet Stedman. That's crazy.
Not the first choice for this role.
Who was the first choice? You told me, didn't you?
No.
Oh, you did. No, you were saving this.
I literally just read this moments ago. Joe Pesci.
Fuck you. I'm sorry. What?
Joe Pesci.
No. What do you do instead? Casino?
Maybe.
It's like, Rookie of the Year, Casino.
Well, of course it's Joe Pesci. The studio wanted to take advantage of the Home Alone connection between Stern and Pesci.
Oh, I see.
Even though he is like, there's just no way that Joe Pesci is a pitcher. He's like 3 feet tall and is very, very, very Italian. Nothing against Italians. Italians, I'm sure, can pitch. You just don't see 3 feet tall Italian guys with throwing in the major leagues. It just doesn't happen very often.
But again,
could you imagine the conversations with like Amy Morton, who is like 6 feet tall?
Yeah, and Joe Pesci. Hey, get the orange crate out. We're gonna need some lifts for Mr. Pesci. And again, I can say this because I'm 4'11". I have every right to make fun of another fellow short person. Yeah. So you probably shouldn't say anything because you're taller. But Joe Pesci, yeah. I mean, come on, you're like a, I don't know. You'd play a dad at best in a movie like this, you know.
You could play the Dan Hedaya character. That would work.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry.
I could buy that. I could buy him as a guy named the Fish.
He's okay. Well said. I'm with you on that one. But
not as a Major League Baseball pitcher.
no,
Doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I
I don't know why they would want that.
But I'm glad that he went against that and said, you know what, I don't want to be in your movie. I don't want to be in your movie.
Well, no, Daniel Stern actually said no to that.
Oh, Daniel Stern did?
Yeah, not because he didn't like Pesci. He didn't want the unfair comparison to Home Alone.
Oh.
Which, yeah, I guess. Sure.
There wouldn't be. Home Alone's good. You know, Rookie of the Year fucking sucks. So.
Yeah. I mean, Joe Pesci can't talk. He made 8 heads in a duffel bag, so and gone fishing. So he can't talk at all. He's been in just as bad, if not worse, movies.
Which was the movie where he was a bad landlord?
The Super.
The Super, yeah, another stupid movie.
Yeah.
He made a lot of bad choices. Yeah. I'm posting a picture. Oh, by the way, guys, we have a Facebook, and
It's on the tree outside.
It's on the tree. No. I really have a Facebook profile for our Everyone is a Critic 1993 podcast. And you can find it by searching Jürgen Prochnow's face, because he is the face
of our lovely podcast.
Yeah, and I just added a picture, not of Rookie of the Year necessarily, but of our Gary Busey family. Since we've been talking
about Good Lord.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to see a picture of Gary Busey and family, you can go over to our Facebook page. And we are going to be updating that. We've been posting all of our past podcasts. They're all up there. Carnosaur, of course, you definitely want to hear. But yeah, so...
eventually you're going to have to take that hotspot back to the library. But...
I don't know about that. I checked it out. It's legal. And the lady said if no one else asked for it, I could keep it. I'm friends with her. Really close with all the librarians. Anyway, yeah, so there it is. But we will have our Rookie of the Year podcast up there for you to hear once we're done, because we've got a whole other film to get to.
That's right.
Yeah.
A much better film.
Much better film. We all felt like we could keep our skin on after this movie, you know?
Yes, we appreciated this
Yeah,
one.
we did.
MJ, any final thoughts on Rookie of the Year?
It was there.
Would you recommend it to a friend?
No.
Lights flickered and there were colors and sound.
Somebody acted in it at one point. You like acting.
There was some acting.
Yeah. Who fucking cares? Move on.
Who fucking cares about MJ? Yeah. Okay.
Look, you turned that around on me. How dare you? Yeah.
The other movie that's coming out this weekend, 30 years ago. How many years before you were born?
11.
11 years. Wow.
No.
Yeah.
11 years?
Yeah. 2004, 1993.
Yeah.
Wow.
the weight
like
of
it'd be
age
20.
is just hitting Amy now.
No, because it's only 30 years. And
The
so
ever-looming
it would be
specter of
12-ish,
death.
Oh, where am I?
But
Am I at my house?
yes, you are at your house.
Will you check real quick and see if I have pants on?
You do.
Thank
You're
you.
good.
Thank you. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Mel Brooks directed and written, starring Cary Elwes as Robin Hood, and unfortunately, he has a co-star in the movie.
He made the cunt list, you guys. Dave Chappelle, as again, we watched this movie and we remember R.I.P. Dave Chappelle. We remember who we loved, who is one of the greatest comedians of all time. But once you become a TERF, we're kicking you to the curb.
You're dead to me.
You're on the cunt list.
Dead
So
to me.
yeah. Yeah, violation, major TERF. He's right up there with J.K. Cunty Rowling. So, he's not going to come off this list. I can guarantee you that.
No.
Unless he comes around and says, you know what, I was fucking stupid. Trans people are real. Yeah, aside from that, I did miss this because he was really funny in the movie, sadly.
Playing Achu.
Yeah, Achu. And his dad, Isaac Hayes, playing a sneeze.
It's just those dumb little jokes. Like, they're just some of them are just so kind of dumb that you kind of, like, you can't believe you're laughing.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Most of them.
They do that Achu, bless you joke twice. Then they vary it with, like, a Jew here.
And it's funny because Mel Brooks is Jewish. But he plays what, Friar Tuckman or Rabbi Tuckman, Rabbi Tuckman, and he that little guillotine that he uses for.
God.
Oh my God.
So good.
Nip the tip.
Nip the tip. Just put some ice on it. You'll be fine. Everybody in this movie. I loved everybody in this movie. Again, I didn't realize. I forgot Dom DeLuise was in this.
Oh,
I'm playing Don Giovanni.
yeah.
He does a great Marlon Brando. He just, chef's kiss. So good. But my favorite character in this movie is Blinken, for sure.
Blinken.
He does steal the
Yeah.
show repeatedly.
He does.
It's the sideways tits for me. That was the best.
Mr. Robin, you've lost your arms, but you got some great boobs. The delivery on that line.
Reading the Braille Playboy magazine.
He's sitting on the toilet. He doesn't even realize the castle's gone. I did think that there was a draft.
They carried away the whole castle on
castle.
wheels, by the way.
Wait, I just
Picked
realized.
it up and left.
Yeah, they just moved it on. I mean, a horse could not carry that.
No,
that off.
it would take like 40, 50 horses.
Right. But did we wrap that up? Because Robin never went back to get the castle back.
No, but he did get it back.
Oh, he did
because,
get it back.
Patrick Stewart, at the end, he was like, you can
Stewart
have
owner.
all of
Yeah.
your
That
land
makes
and your
sense.
items back.
So it's your typical Robin Hood fare, only it's Mel Brooksian, so it's really fucking funny from start to finish. I mean, just even with the arrows hitting the rooftops in the beginning of it, and with all the credits.
Every time they make a Robin Hood movie, they burn down our village. Because I think they did that in the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. When that was the opening, was them firing fire arrows.
Why did they keep doing this? Then they all say something like, "We
Leave
hate
us
you."
alone, Mel Brooks.
Leave us alone, Mel Brooks. Oh my God! Yes, I mean, just again, it's the typical fare, but it's made funny. I get the Spaceballs thing. I'm getting all of those really great moments. The only problem I had with this movie is that sometimes we had a beat too long. Did you pick up on that?
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes.
Sometimes like we had that one beat where nobody says anything, and you want it to go at a faster pace, and that was the only thing that bothered me. But again, that could have been a choice.
Right.
I don't know.
The gay humor did age poorly as well.
Although the song,
That I feel like was intentional.
Yes.
Like that one, it goes into places that are baiting on stereotypes and
Right.
whatnot, but it comes around to be about them being insecure about wearing tights.
right? And then at the end, the song with "I'm Butch." That was such a great song. I loved the performance. I loved the dance.
That was fantastic.
It was fantastic. Yeah. I think that but who was it that made what gay jokes am I not thinking of that you
Bagel
thought?
is.
Oh, I know, but it still cracked me up though. I think a
didn't
gay
even
man
get
would
that
even
one,
tell you that.
so-
That was actually pretty funny.
Just little things.
Yeah, I mean,
But not so much that it's like egregious. Like you wouldn't.
it's just cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
I mean, credit Brooks though for that meta joke that opens the movie about every movie has to have a rap breakdown now.
Yes. It's
In the wrong hands, like they're trying to treat that seriously.
Right.
In his hands, it's very, very funny because he's accomplishing both. Like narrating the story, but also being very funny about the idea that everybody has to do a cringy rap breakdown in their movie now.
Because we make the movies for the kids, you know. Those teens, they love their rap music. So let's give them a little taste of that. And real, like, when I say real films, I mean, like, you know, a regular film that isn't a parody or, you know, like, isn't like this, would do that to us. Like, think like Romeo and Juliet, you know, or something like that, where they're like rapping about the Montagues and the Capulets. It's like, just don't do that.
No.
Don't fucking do that. I remember us being like 15 and 16, like, you know, you're so condescending with that bullshit, you know? So it was funnier in this movie.
Just a, like, kind of I'm not sure how related this is, but it's a bit of an aside. We did sleepaway camp movies on the regular feed of Everyone's Critic. And the woman who played the original Angela / Peter in the original sleepaway camp, she went on to star in a a video about food safety.
What?
In which she played a rapping mom-to-be.
Stop it.
Oh, wow.
Who raps about food safety.
Oh. Is that something I can post?
Yes. Yes, it is, actually. I think it's called Mom Number 2B. But the short itself is about food safety. I saw it on Red Letter Media. They did a piece on it on one of the best of the worst episodes. That was very, very funny.
Rapping about food safety.
Yeah, Felissa Rose is her name.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I'll put that up on our Facebook as well.
Yeah, throw that out there. Let everybody see it. MJ, you've got to see what we went through in the 90s.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Felissa Rose. I got you. Okay.
FEL.
Yeah, I didn't. Ooh.
MJ, do you have a favorite joke in this movie?
I don't know. I really still liked the Playboy thing, and then the carrying the castle away. Like, you're literally just taking. That idea has always been funny to me, though.
Yeah.
Like, every time I see like a house being moved, I laugh so hard. It's like it was you buy a new house. Don't move your current house.
One of my favorite jokes of all time is the Simpsons. They destroyed Springfield, so they moved the town 10 miles down the road, and everybody's houses are just flying down the road.
That was a Steve Martin episode, wasn't it?
Homer just goes to leave the house, and jumps across the street
to Moe's. Goes over to Moe's while they're all
moving.
Did they move to Shelbyville?
They moved 10 miles up the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because Steve Martin, right?
They just because Homer was in charge of the garbage. Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite episodes, easily. Fantastic. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, okay, so Cary Elwes. Yeah. Obviously.
The perfect Robin Hood.
Absolutely.
Like, he can play a genuine Robin Hood.
He's so good looking. So like his humor's kind of it's a bit. You don't expect it, but then if you watch Princess Bride, you already know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
I love him. I'm glad that he got this, and we could forget about the crush.
Yes,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like we can just shit the crush right out, you know, and be done with it. So this made up for that. Yeah. Good for you, Cary. We got Richard Lewis in it, who plays the Prince John.
With the mole.
The mole that kept moving, which what a great gag. I love anything
mole.
like that. Oh my God.
That's a reference.
Yeah.
It's a reference to Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Wait, I might have seen that.
I'm sure
Young
you probably
Frankenstein?
have. With Gene Wilder.
Maybe.
Sexy Gene Wilder.
Oh my God, by the way, uncredited in this movie. He was a party guest.
What?
Yeah. For
No.
real? Yes, he was.
What?
Yes, he was.
How would we not see him?
I don't know, but it says it right here. Gene Wilder as party guest uncredited.
That's crazy.
I know.
I had no idea.
That's now I want to go back and watch it. And then for you Mystery Science Theater fans, Corbin Allred, who is in Quest of the Delta Knights, one of the best episodes of season 10. I'm sorry, to me that is. We get him doing another horrible English accent in this movie, but instead he's just the boy, and the only way he can run is if he screams while he's running.
Oh yes,
I fucking love that. I love that moment. That was so great.
He did to kill a king's dad.
Roger fucking Reese in this movie. I love him so much.
The talent it takes
Oh.
to say the lines backwards. Or
yeah.
to just simply rearrange the words that he does.
Yes.
Amazing.
I got to think about that too. I'm like, imagine getting a script
Yeah.
and those are the lines that you have to remember. Like, I just like that, especially if you're dyslexic, that would fuck your head up,
wow.
wouldn't it?
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
But now imagine you have to do this performance in the wake of what Alan Rickman did in Robin Hood.
Right, in Prince
which
of
is
Thieves.
already just an insane performance.
Oh
like,
my god.
there's this line from Rickman in Prince of Thieves. It's a Robin Hood movie with Kevin Costner where he's like, I'm going to cut his heart out with a spoon!
And only Rickman.
That would fit perfectly in this movie.
Yeah. 100%.
Yes.
Oh my god. And again, we miss Alan Rickman, but you have to admit.
I mean, the challenge that Roger Rees has here is amazing.
God.
And he's fucking great.
And everything he does, he does so well in this movie, and you wait for him to have that. I mean, I like kind of how him and Richard Lewis will play off of each other as well. Richard Lewis, kind of like he's your favorite neurotic comedian, but I felt like he didn't get enough. Like I wanted him to be more neurotic.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to be Richard Lewis as Prince John, playing Richard Lewis. That's what I wanted. But
one of the weirdest, funniest fart jokes in movie history. He's in the bath and he's got these guys blowing bubbles through a tube, and Roger Rees walks in and like sniffs the air and he goes, "Those aren't my bubbles." From the tubes.
They're from the tubes. Oh my god. I love that though. I mean, just to even have 4 people in there just blowing into your bath to give you the bubbly sensation. I'm a fan of that. I love that.
That's so great.
Amy Yazbek.
Yeah.
Love her. I love her. I love her so much. She's the best Marion I've ever seen. I love that. It's one of the best, reveals of a character is that camera. Like you can hear her singing, and we're just getting ready. We're getting closer to that stained glass window, and we go inside, and there she is. She's singing, and all of a sudden, crash! It's a fucking camera goes right through the stained glass window.
The meta humor before such a thing ever existed.
Well, it happened to Dick Van Patten later on as he's walking with his staff. And he's going to marry the two of them. And he just walks right into the cameraman.
Oh,
and it just hits the rig.
Rule of 3, it comes back in the third act where they're having the sword fight. And he goes to stab Roger Rees and he stabs a guy with a bagel in the crew.
So good.
It's a callback. They did that. They did the same thing in High Anxiety, and I believe, and in Young Frankenstein as well.
Yes, and it never gets old. Like I fucking love that. It's
just the perfection of how he does it.
Right.
Like
let the cat in.
It's a reference to Psycho too, as well, which they have a scene in where the camera doesn't go through the window; it goes up to the window and then inside perfectly.
Right.
And Citizen Kane does it as well.
Harry Potter does it as well. I do remember that one scene. Anyway, but yeah, but having the camera just smash right through it too, and then like it slowly backs out.
Yeah,
she's just like, anyway, and she gets on with her song. Her whole chastity belt was it ever. It's one of those like old workout.
Yeah. Like a sports thing.
Sports, sports brand.
Yeah.
It
is the key to the greatest treasure in the land.
Yeah, his dad leaves in the key to the greatest treasure of the land, and it's her chastity belt. That's brilliant. But then, again, I love that too at the end where it doesn't unlock it. And he's like, I know, we'll call it locksmith.
Call a locksmith.
Call a locksmith. God damn it, this movie.
That was great.
So many, Tracy Ullman, who I love.
Oh, Latrine.
I love Latrine. What was her original name? Like
Shithouse.
Shithouse. We changed it to Latrine.
Good change.
Good change. Very good change.
Oh my god, yeah, she was great. And you realize the pill that she gave him at the end, like it was a lifesaver. Literally a lifesaver. Exactly. Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Going back to Blinken though, I just was having this thought. It's when, like during the dance sequence, during all of the commitment to being blind in this movie, and the help of Eric Allen Kramer, Little John,
Yeah.
to kind of guide him around and make it look good. I mean, funny, but
Yeah.
good. I loved that. I love that kind of commitment to it. The best scene, though, he's up in the lookout trench.
Yes.
Lincoln be the lookout.
And he's
So
fucking
good.
blind.
That
Yes,
is
they made him the
fantastic.
lookout.
And he's like, what are you doing up there? Guessing.
I
Yes?
guess no one's coming.
Get down from there.
And then he's like, oh, the ladder. And then his butt knocks the ladder off. And then he just fucking falls.
Yep.
And then,
Oh,
then
and
he gets his sight back.
Yes, he thought he wasn't blind anymore, and then runs into a tree. Nope, I was wrong.
I was wrong. God.
How did this guy not act more?
Mark Blankfield. Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, he's still around. He's still doing it.
So he did.
He was in Sledgehammer. Of course he was.
He was in Dracula Dead and loving it too. He was in he was in The Jerk? Oh no, The Jerk 2, a movie sequel. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. That doesn't sound good. Doesn't sound good. But he's going to be on Good and Evil.
Good and Evil?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a TV series. It's very funny.
Oh, okay. Well, I like him. He's 73 years old.
That's crazy, right?
Holy shit. Damn.
Yeah.
He was on Saved by the Bell. I don't remember that episode, but...
Oh, God, I think I do. Yeah, I think I kind of remember that. Oh, that's so weird.
It makes sense that he would be on Night Court. He seems like a guy that would have been on Night Court. That's funny. And Arrested Development. Holy shit. Mark Blankfield. Well done. I might have a cardboard cutout made of you as well. As Blinken. As Blinken. I remember a lot of like my friends in high school when they went and saw this in the theater, and I remember a lot of them going, "Oh God, it's so funny, it's so funny," and that's why I kept thinking, I don't know if this movie's going to hold up, because I remember seeing it at that age too, and it's like, yeah, it was really funny, but a lot of my friends were douchebags, so maybe it's just humor that they got, but
I don't know exactly why, but this is kind of often talked about as lesser Mel Brooks. In comparison to like Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles and so. I'm not a big fan of Young Frankenstein.
What?
I just don't find it that funny.
Go sit in your car.
Honestly, what you were talking about with like the dead spots, that movie feels like more dead spots than big funny moments.
See, but there's something about Gene Wilder and dead spots that I'm fine with. Because he could just do mean mug the camera and I'm fine. Just look at me, say something horrible, and then walk away. Gene Wilder is a god. He's a god amongst men. He shouldn't be dead.
I had this delightful moment I watched this woman on YouTube, Ashley Burton, Awkward Ashley. She does movie reactions, and she's got this thing where she'll just tell you once, just straight up, like, "Oh, he could get it." That's her thing. Like she's assessing a good-looking man, and I was stunned into silence when she goes, "Gene Wilder, he could get it."
Oh. Yes.
Like she wants to marry him. Like that's her guy now. It's Gene Wilder.
He's if you're into comedy, if you're into that kind of thing, he's just one of those unforgettable. Willy Wonka, dude. I don't think anybody will ever do it the way it should be, which is Gene Wilder. He is Willy Wonka. So
all the memes tell you.
All the memes tell you.
That's where people know his face from.
They do.
Is entirely
really.
from memes.
Tell me again. What? Yeah. I've seen those.
And those and of course, your favorite, those people who don't know how to use memes.
Oh my God. I shouldn't make fun because for a long time I didn't know what a meme was. I thought it was meanie.
This is that GIF thing all over again.
GIF thing. Exactly. No one ever actually really truly knows what that is, by the way. It could be GIF, it could be GIF.
I think the creator of it said it was GIF, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't. I'm not ever going to say GIF.
It should.
That's a peanut butter. That's not.
It is a peanut butter.
Oh my God.
It's got a J. That's how that works.
That's true. That's true. What was it? The guy who at the gallows.
Oh yes.
Fuck. Why can't I remember his name? God damn. Oh, Robert Ridgely.
Yeah.
Was in Blazing Saddles, and he basically did this.
Did the same bit.
Same bit. and it works. I mean, a lot
So
of times
good.
it's like, okay, we're capitalizing off of something that was like probably 10 times funnier still, but I mean, it still worked in this movie.
The first time I like truly understood visual humor was Blazing Saddles. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just a shot of like Mel Brooks, or is it no, not Mel Brooks, the other guy, Hedley Lamar.
Yeah.
He goes to the window to see what, and he looks out on the executioner, and the executioner's got a guy and a horse both wearing nooses. He's gonna hang the guy on while he's sitting on a.
Yes. God damn it. Again, I'm going to have to watch Blazing Saddles tonight because I fucking love that movie. It's so good. You need to see that movie. I think you'd love it, MJ.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I only
If you like this kind of movie, then you would like Blazing Saddles. And it was very much ahead of its time.
Yeah, I thought I had heard that might have been one of them that was at my I went to horse camp, and that might have been one of the movies that we could have watched.
That'd be really funny. Blazing Saddles, guys. You're all under 10 and you're at horse camp.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The farting scene is going to be appealing to that crowd.
Well, there it is. That was our grandma. We called her Soup. That was her favorite scene in Blazing Saddles. And I couldn't believe it because our grandmother was rather proper and you know what I mean. So that scene, whenever it would come on, I would look over and she would be taking her glasses off and wiping her eyes because she was laughing so hard at that. And I remember that like it was yesterday.
It's like giving you permission to laugh.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're just sitting there like.
Well, because for the longest time, and I stand by this. I'm not that crazy about fart jokes. It has to be done right.
Yeah.
So.
I don't like them at all.
No.
I even if they're done right, it's like, okay, cool, but nah, not for me.
Well, you have to remember, like Blazing Saddles, though, they're all sitting around eating cans of beans. They're out on the dusty trail.
Oh,
Of course, they're going to be passing the gas.
Well, the key to it though, it's basically what they did with the Simpsons ripped it off with like the Sideshow Bob rake gag, where it just goes on for so long that it goes from it's like really funny,
Yeah.
and then it becomes like, how long is this going to go on?
Oh my God.
And then it keeps going and it becomes funny again. Mel Brooks invented that.
He did. And you know, Seth MacFarlane did that on Family Guy with beating up the chicken. That chicken fight will never not be funny to me. Every time that chicken shows up and you're like, oh, fuck, here we go again. And then the falling on his knees, like, ah.
Yeah.
Ah, I love that bit too. But you don't seem as impressed by that bit.
Family Guy has not risen
well.
in my estimation.
It's Family Guy.
Yeah.
It was never trying to be anything other than Family Guy.
I don't have a problem with it because I don't think Seth's ever done anything terrible that I'm aware of. So.
Yeah. No,
So I don't have that problem with it, but like it kind of got unfunny after a while.
Well, we both stopped watching it when there's so much blood.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Stewie
After
falling
he
down.
killed, like
and,
the killing Brian thing,
Yeah.
like why first of all.
There's just we didn't need the gore. The
Yeah.
gore was
It
unnecessary.
just got needless.
Yeah. The first 5 seasons are awesome though. I
Yeah.
still stand by that. Yeah, so headphone. Megan Kavanaugh as Broomhilda.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess.
It is a just one long fat joke.
It
The
is.
entire movie.
Especially when she jumped and the horse moved.
oh,
I still laugh because Megan Kavanaugh, just to say this, she had a shit ton of padding in
Yeah.
this movie too. So I mean, but yeah, it's not exactly body positive at this point, and too easy. But Megan Kavanaugh is such a great actress; she could pull it off. She did a fantastic job.
She's working that accent like she's
Yeah.
Cloris Leachman.
Yeah, that's true. Well, again, Mel Brooks couldn't do a movie without a subtle nod to a past film.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Maybe that's the problem that some people have. Like, there are so many homages in the humor
Yeah.
of this movie that maybe that's why people see it as lesser than Blazing Saddles. Or
I could see that. I disagree. I like that about these films,
Yeah.
actually, because it
And
makes it
there's
feel like a
something kind of-
universe.
it's something kind of involving about that.
Yeah.
Like, your friend pointing out something that you both liked from back in the day, like
Yes.
we've been doing throughout this entire podcast.
Exactly. Like we do through every podcast. Honestly, we're off topic. Who fucking cares? Keep going. Yeah. Again, I would say that would be one of my. I love that about Mel Brooks movies. I just love Mel Brooks, honestly.
I love Cary Elwes, and he's the reason why this works for me.
Yep.
He's doing an actual Robin Hood and also being funny on top of it.
Yeah.
Like the entire fight scene where immediately after he drops the boar on the table, and, everything like he's doing full on the original Robin Hood from Adventures of Robin Hood back in the 1930s. He's doing that.
Yeah.
And there's just this subtle thing where when they're sword fighting, he is smiling the entire time. Never stops smiling. It's so great. He's having such a fantastic time.
And you can see it. Like, I love it when Blinken brings him a beer in the middle of it. He's moving his sword.
Yes.
And he's like, "Are we winning, sir?" "Yes, we are, Blinken." And he just takes a drink. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, it looks like this had to be one hell of a set to be on. How much fucking fun.
That would be so much fun.
Absolutely.
I think back to that, the big dance scene where Men in Tights.
Yeah.
The Dave Chappelle of today would not be willing to do that.
No.
And there he is in the chorus.
Yep.
Dancing like everybody else, singing along.
It's weird because I don't think I could see him doing like he almost would want to divorce himself from something like that, even though it's fucking hilarious. Oh, by the way, minor moisture in this film, very minor moisture. When Little John falls into the very deep river.
Yes, it was so deep. We thought we were gonna lose him.
I know, because he can't swim.
He can't swim.
He can't swim.
Oh my god, it's like this.
He's flailing.
I can't swim.
I'm drowning.
It's 2 inches of water. I like that line from Dave Chappelle. This ain't exactly the Mississippi River. See, east, west, and then he just stands there right in the middle of it.
It's the principle.
It's the principle of the thing. Fighting Little John. Oh God, yeah. So much, like all these moments, like when they have horse jockeys on camels.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like out of fucking nowhere.
Random joke.
Just walking. Yeah. It's
the amount they really jump around with technology
They
as
do.
well. Like they're using the thing-
Catapult.
Yeah, catapult.
Yeah.
But then they've also got a crossbow, like a crossbow, not like a
Like a gun.
old-timey
gun.
crossbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They what about he has the remote control to the
Beep beep.
yeah.
Oh yes.
And the bars
The
come down.
portcullis.
Yeah. I love that we jump all over these movies. Like
Yeah.
when we talk about
We
these
can't
movies,
be linear.
we
It's
can't be
impossible.
linear at all.
No.
And it works for a movie like this because this movie it's one of those things where you dip into it. Like there's those just your memories dip into like, oh, and then there's this fucking scene, and then there's this fucking scene, and just every last one of them so good.
The night is young and you're so beautiful. It's such a great. That is such a terrific scene. I don't know. I want to know who sang that because that wasn't Cary Elwes.
That's
There's no way
right.
that Cary Elwes
No.
sang that.
Because this
No.
guy was he was a deep.
And I love the idea of somebody who's being sang at, like reacting like how you would if you're being sang at that volume.
And he holds on to Amy Asbeck, and her hair goes flying back as he's singing to her. But it's
Oh, you're singing. Yes, okay.
and they're singing behind the sheet.
This is lovely.
And then all of these guys sit down like they're about to watch a smut film,
Yes.
and ending with his sword. Yeah, singing the background music, and she's like, "What the fuck's going on?" And his sword looks like his dick at the end of
Yeah.
it. I just
Yes.
fucking
Great.
classic.
Great bit.
Or when he's fighting the sheriff.
Yeah.
And they end up doing shadow puppets on the fucking wall.
Yes.
God damn. And to me,
Yes.
shadow puppets in any movie is never not funny. I love because his dog ate the rabbit. Like it just,
Oh,
you know.
It's done for.
And that's the thing that says it's turned the tide in favor of the sheriff. Shadow puppets.
Shadow
Oh,
puppets.
yes.
God damn. God
You
damn.
defeated my shadow puppet.
That's how MJ always fights their conflicts.
Oh, yes. Shadow puppet battles. They get so intense. Sometimes I'm scared I won't come back.
No, you never break character. You keep
No,
it going.
That is a fabulous duck. That is one fabulous duck.
You do have a gift.
I do. I feel like I do. That's what my mom tells me.
That's well. What else would she tell you? I mean, honestly.
You never know. Sometimes she tells me
She
things
loves
that I
you.
don't want to hear.
Like clean up the cat vomit? No.
No, I don't often hear
Is that a reference to Rookie of the Year?
Oh! God, no. It's the fact that Fuzzy doesn't like to clean up cat vomit. Period.
Do not enjoy cat
Nobody
vomit.
does. I don't think there's anybody who does.
I
Ah.
know.
I think you're the most normal person with that. That is not a...
Disagree. Do not call MJ normal. You get right the fuck out of here with that.
That's offensive.
That's offensive.
That's offensive.
Okay, normie.
Hey,
We're getting crazy up in here.
exactly.
Gonna end up on your Tumblr blog.
Hey, we only use our Tumblr blogs for reblogging things about Umbrella Academy and pictures of food, I guess.
And cats.
And cats. You know. God, like a middle-aged woman. When did you become a middle-aged woman?
I don't know.
Don't do that. Stay you. You don't deserve this. I don't even deserve this. I'm depressed now. God. Yeah, I don't want to look at it. No. Hey, question.
Yeah,
Like, okay, so we were almost going to watch Coneheads today.
Yeah.
Almost. I'm glad we chose not to. Not that I hated Coneheads.
I have fond memories of Coneheads. I'm still gonna watch it, I think, but
Yeah, but I'm still glad, like, but why, the question is, why
Why?
did you only tell us Coneheads last week and not give us other options? And then today it's like, we got 4 movies we can choose from. Fuck you.
I didn't realize.
Oh my
I just
God.
forgot. You know.
You're like the president of this podcast.
Of this whole operation.
We look to you for answers.
Yes.
And if you slightly veer and misguide us in any way, I don't trust you anymore.
Did we watch the movie?
We
We
did, I'm
did.
just
We
saying.
did watch the
I'm
movie.
just
So,
saying.
I did tell you.
I just feel like you don't care. God damn it.
Just like I told you that next week we're watching So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
now, again, fond memories, but Mike Myers, I got weird things.
Yeah,
Weird
because he's not
feelings.
good anymore.
Yeah.
He hasn't been funny in 25 years.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I had a crush on him during this period of time.
When
so.
did Shrek come out? Was Shrek funny?
Hey, Shrek 2 is the best Shrek of all. Shrek 2.
Shrek.
Shreked.
It Shrek.
That totally Shreked me out, yo.
Oh, man. It Shrek.
Yeah, so I still think it'll be good. Nancy Travis is in it. I just realized she works with Tim the Toolman Taylor, so I don't give a fuck about it. But whatever. Sorry, alliances do count. You will make the cunt list.
Tim Allen, put him on.
God, you think I would have remembered? Like, that would have been just, should have been. Yeah. So next week, we'll do that. Now, don't forget, we got our Facebook up. Everyone's a Critic. 1993. You'll know it because I did a great Photoshop of the Everyone's a Critic podcast banner.
It's pathetic.
I worked so hard on choosing the Pantone color of the blue that I wrote with my mouse.
It's not easy to write with a mouse.
I mean, yeah. God, give me a fucking break. But yeah, we'll have this up there. We are starting a Patreon. I just haven't moved on with it yet because it takes me a long time.
Mhm.
So having said that, if you'd like to hear or this podcast, you'd like me to send you a VHS copy of this podcast, please do by sending a self-addressed stamped envelope to 6969 69th Street, Pueblo, Colorado 69696.